You can go to the Grand Ole Opry, take a stroll down Music Road.
Yeah, the best thing, following up on what you said and asked was, be honest with your co-writers and your cohorts, and be upfront. And when you've got something coming together, stipulate, okay, this is going to be the publisher, this is going to be your responsibility, so I can count on you to do this. And generally, if they're your friends, and most of these people should be on a friendship kind of level, business friends, then you can trust them, and they're just going to have to come through for you, and you're going to have the implicit trust in them and their professional abilities to track your song. And you just be upfront and be honest, and people will appreciate that.
As well as being honest on the production cost of producing the song. Because a lot of time that falls on the artist, right?
Correct. If it's the artist's song that they're releasing, the artist makes the money off the stage shows.
And if you're a co-writer on that, you may or may not pay for some of that. I know, I'll be honest with you, in the case of Claire, I booked the studio, I laid down the original tracks, and helped co-produce the song, so I spent some money on it, but she was very determined to give me her share of that,
That's pretty cool.
It's she's one of those artists that we're blessed with, that knows the business, that knows what she's doing, and that type of thing, but that's really cool.
The thing about friends is that, let's say you and I wrote a song and you put it out. Well, if you didn't pay the mechanical, I might not personally care that much, but my publisher might not ever let me write with you again. So the publisher can ruin your current friendships if you're not being honest and just doing things about a book.
Don't want to be blacklisted.
No, it's not that much money. I mean, in the scheme of things, sometimes
not
they're paying $1,000 for their single, but they won't pay their $60 to the person who helped make the song come to life. And as a writer, it's kind of a stab in the heart.
You ought to build that into your production costs, really,
Sure.
when you come right down, and I got an extra $45 or $60 now.
Well, and in the artist's defense, sometimes they just simply don't know because no one's told them how it works.
Right.
So we're not saying anybody's doing anything wrong on purpose. We're just trying to educate everybody on here's how it normally works. And
it's really tough too. Have you ever had a follow-up after hearing one of your songs?
And then you have to reach
or
out,
internet or whatever, and you say, "Wait a minute, I didn't hear about that."
Many times.
It'll be
You
in
have to
your
go back
report.
and
Right. It'll be in your report. Oh, okay.
Well,
I'll
sure.
report.
And at least if you registered the song, you're getting some of that from the MLC or whatever, some little digital money. But it usually pales in comparison even to the $60 unless it's a Blake Shelton single or something like that. So we're just trying to protect everybody on both ends so that everybody's covered and they know what to expect.
And I would recommend, we'd all recommend, the community recommends, I think, that, before you go out there and start playing your songs that you just wrote yesterday or last week, you really should cover them and protect them somehow before you, go out in the public domain.
put it on your PRO's website, if nothing
something
else.
to document the date, and if you have the wherewithal to go ahead and get it copywritten, go ahead and do what you have to do. It's important because I'm not saying that a lot of people out there are looking to copy exactly what we do, but a lot of them can't help themselves. Once they hear a good hook, or once they hear something that's really good,
You can't copyright a hook, though, right?
Well, depends on who does it first. So, just be careful. And, I really think, especially like I just went through a period where I've been hot on a song and I've had to control myself. I wanted to play it out like immediately. I knew like this is a song I need to play out and I need to practice it. But no, I waited until I had it protected because I know it's worth protecting. It's intellectual property. It's a song that, I believe in. Even though I didn't believe in it, I'd still want to protect it. But I probably wouldn't have anything to do with it at that point because I didn't believe in it. You got to believe in what you're doing. So.
Don't you think people in Nashville at these writers' nights and all, they play pretty nice though? I've had two instances since I've been here for 22 years, 25 years actually, coming here before that, where I heard a song and I was actually in the next month and this other guy played the same hook.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway, you'd love it. If the song title was "Who Am I to Put Him Back on the Cross?" It was a story about a guy.
Well, you definitely don't want to steal religious hooks.
I know.
Karma there.
But it was different, in structure and a lot of things, but that hook,
Right.
And so I kind of lost respect for that writer after that a little bit, you know,
Yeah,
because
as
it's
a-
not Nashville.
Yeah, as a performing songwriter, think how many times you've been at a place, but you're out there and you see they have a little pad and they're taking notes.
Or even texting the titles of their
Or,
songs.
you know,
Or recording it.
punching it in.
Or
Well,
recording,
I've seen them. I seen them. It's old school, like the old folks. You know, they're taking notes, man, and I'm going. They
But
write
then
it
again,
down. You know,
we're kind of getting off the licensing thing, but then
Well,
again,
it's
in
the
the middle of a
protection
song,
part,
you
yeah.
hear this great line that ought to be a hook, and you use it.
Sure.
Is that wrong? Is that so wrong?
That's not as
People
wrong
are paying
because that
attention.
wasn't their hook.
Right. You know,
And I will say this too, a double reason to be covered and register your songs with BMI or ASCAP is since now they have BMI Live and ASCAP has something
I use that all
comparable.
the time.
You're missing money if you don't register what you played that night if you co-wrote on it. And your co-writers are as well.
That's right.
So register your songs, and then when you go play them out that night, if you, even if it's the end of the quarter, register what you played every time you were
every
out,
3 months, yeah.
and they will.
I don't know.
They'll pay you
There's
for
not
that.
a fixed fee or per song thing. They just kind of divvy up some funds.
They divvy up a little bit, and it kind of
They have
if
a
you tell
formula.
them what the capacity of the venue that you played in. You know, if you
Yeah.
played,
it's
in,
hundreds of dollars if you
Yeah.
play regularly, I think.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Just coincidentally, and I think we're going to have to go. Recently, someone I co-wrote a song with, the Mow It song, Barry Cash. Hadn't really heard from him in about 20 years, and he started getting his third of our royalties on that song that we wrote back in 1993, sitting around drinking a beer and
That's great.
and blah blah blah. So he got back in touch after 20 years and said, you know, it's only a few bucks, but it means a lot, and you know, it helps validate him as a songwriter still. So you know, take care of business and take care of your friends.
bada bing,
Sounds good. Bada boom.
and drink lots of coffee.
And
Yeah.
this has been a
Drink
TSAI
less
thing.
coffee?
You will hear some faded cowboys used to ride the old radio, and you will see some shooting starlets wonder why they shine so bright. I tell you, son, it ain't no secret. Songwriters helping writers down at TSAI.